It's been a head-spinning past few days in the NBA, and the Suns took part in the wheeling and dealing. Now it's time to begin their longest road trip of the season here at the Air Canada Center. Suns and Raptors on My 45. Hi everyone, Tom Leander along with Scott Williams. We had a pretty soft landing coming in here to Toronto. Then the turbulence hit as everybody's cell phone lit up and we found about the trade. Goran Dragic being dealt to Houston for Aaron Brooks. A lot of stunned people, but also excited to bring in the dynamic Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, the Suns point guard was traded, but thank goodness it wasn't Steve Nash. Goran Dragic, I really like this kid. True professional, really going to be missed. But he was a little inconsistent this year, and I think the Suns feel they need more consistency off that bench. They bring in Aaron Brooks, who was absolutely phenomenal last year. The guy's a proven scorer. He's the most improved player a year ago. I think they're looking for that punch to provide a little spark with that second unit.
Houston also acquires a protected first-round draft pick from the Phoenix Suns. We had a chance to catch up with Steve Nash before tonight's game. He has mixed emotions about this deal.
Sad to see Goran go. He was close with all of us, a big part of our team. As a person, everyone loved him. So it's sad to see him go, as it is generally when guys are traded. But it's a business, so we're all prepared for that, and we wish him the best. We hope he has a great career over there in Houston. I think he has a chance to be a great player. So I hope for good things. And obviously, Aaron's a proven scorer in our league already. So he's going to give us a boost offensively off the bench. He's going to come in and shoot the ball and cause problems for the defense. And I think he'll be able to help our second unit.
No question, sadness among the Suns players in losing Goran Dragic, but also excitement in bringing in Aaron Brooks, who will make his debut for the Suns in the second game on this road trip in Indiana against the Pacers on Sunday. We'll take our first time out here from the Air Canada Center. The Suns flying across the border with a nice win in their pocket over the Atlanta Hawks back in Phoenix. We'll tell you about their big run in that victory. Had a real scare in their last game home against the Atlanta Hawks. The game was all tied up at 92 in the fourth quarter, but then the knockout punch came, an 8-0 run by the Suns.
Yeah, it really was a nice run by the Suns, but you get up for 18 points, you'd like to be able to keep your foot on the other team's throat and not let them up off the map, but you have to make a run. It was a nice way to do it, and I like the way they got stops down the stretch. You don't like a little 8-1, 0-1, you have to do it on the defensive end. I think Channing Frye was phenomenal. Steve Nash obviously was really good down in that stretch, but you got to make sure to take care of business against these lesser teams and not give them an opportunity to have an opportunity to win a basketball game, and I think that's one of the Suns will have to do that tonight against this Raptors team that are very pesky here at home.
Channing Frye, so consistent, so reliable for the Suns, playing the best basketball of his career. Suns and Raptors coming your way here on My 45. Canadian icon Steve Nash and the Suns, they've won their last 12 over Toronto. He's number 13. Suns trying to make it 13 straight. All the action coming your way next. Heavy-duty internet from Quest. Bud Light Lime. The just right taste of Bud Light with the refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor. By Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. Goldberg and Osborne, the accident injury lawyers. By Diamondback Plumbing, 2 decades of complete plumbing service and repair. Casino Arizona, feel the wind. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The snow was blowing sideways this morning in Toronto. A chilly start to the road trip for the Phoenix Suns. And tonight's starting lineups are sponsored by MidFirst Bank. MidFirst Bank is proud to be the official bank of the Phoenix Suns. Stop by MidFirst Bank today to get your Phoenix Suns check card. Steve Nash back in Canada. That is always happening. And Vince Carter back in Toronto. Spent 6 seasons here. Was Rookie of the Year as a Raptor, a 5-time All-Star, but booed lustily moments ago during introductions. Head coach Alvin Gentry picked up his 100th win as head coach of the Suns on Wednesday. Now dealing with more changes, more challenges with this latest trade, but very excited about bringing in Aaron Brooks. Personally, though, saddened to lose Goran Dragic, as Alvin played a very big part in Goran's development. And now the starters for the Raptors. Andrea Bargnani and DeMar DeRozan have been fabulous in the month of February. They also bring in James Johnson, acquired from the Bulls on Tuesday, and Toronto sticking him right in the starting lineup. Playing now his second game for the Raptors. He started against his former team, the Bulls, the other night. And the Raptors winning that game, a surprising victory over Chicago here at the Air Canada Center. Their head coach, Jay Triano, one of Canada's finest. Played and coached on the national team. Very close friends, of course, with Steve Nash. But it's been a struggle, to say the least, for Jay Triano since taking over for Sam Mitchell 2 seasons ago. He is coaching an extremely young team, going through the pains of rebuilding and following the drama of Chris Bosh leaving last summer. It has been a difficult hand for Jay Triano. Here's tonight's APS Power matchup. We'll take a look at Channing Frye and Andrea Bargnani. Very similar players, Scott Williams.
Yeah, A to the B, Bargnani. This guy is absolutely fantastic. He's been hot as a bowl of pasta. He's averaging 27 points over his last 8 basketball games. So Channing Frye is going to have his work cut out for him on the defensive end. Must stay down on Bargnani's pump fakes. He's got one of the best pump fakes for a young player in the game today. But all you need to know about Channing Frye is he's been playing big man basketball.
2 of the best shooters in the NBA that stand at least 6'11". Throw in Mehmet Okur along with Dirk Nowitzki, but Bargnani and Channing Frye can both download threes. Time for tonight's Batteries Plus Power Keys to the Game. Batteries Plus, thousands of batteries for thousands of items. We begin with Jurassic Park as the Suns take on the Raptors.
Yeah, the Air Canada Center can be a dangerous place. The Raptors hung 118 points on the Bulls 2 nights ago, and Bulls are one of the best teams in the league defensively. And welcome back Carter, Vince Carter. He needs to get it going if the Suns are going to have a legit chance to make the postseason. Going against his former team may just be the extra motivation that he needs. And a game when he was with the New Jersey Nets, team was down 10 points with a minute to go. Vince Carter single-handedly got that game to overtime, but hit a 3 at the end of the overtime, the game in overtime, and then won the game in overtime right here in Air Canada Center. Look for him to go out here and be excited to play against his former team and provide a lot of energy right from the very beginning of this game.
Well, tell us all about the shoot-around this morning for the Phoenix Suns. Apparently, Suns players were booing Vince Carter to prepare him for tonight, and the fan base here in Toronto. And apparently, that was Hakeem Warwick's idea.
Yeah, Warwick is very enthusiastic about booing Vince every time he touched the ball. The Suns were running through their offensive sets, making Vince used to being booed. Of course, we talked about it during the starting introductions, how he was booed heavily, and then Steve Nash right behind him cheered even just as enthusiastic.
Nice hug there. 2 close friends, Steve Nash and Leandro Barbosa, the former Sun who was traded here to Toronto this past summer. Phoenix Suns broadcasts are made available in high definition by Verizon. Rule the air. Check your cable or satellite listings for HD channels. Always great to see LB, and we are up and away from Canada. Officials tonight, Jason Phillips, Orlandis Poole, and Josh Tiven. Suns going for their 13th consecutive victory against the Toronto Raptors. They have not lost to the Raptors since they re-signed Steve Nash in the summer of 2004. Lopez goes to the right-handed hook, pops out, and rebounded by DeRozan.
I like that. You know, you can play big man basketball. You get your big guy going, makes him aggressive on the defensive end. If he can score some points early, great opportunity for a look and just rattle it in and out.
That's been a trend for the Suns, going to Robin Lopez early. Bargnani out to James Johnson, second-year player. On a give and go, and taken away by Vince Carter. Excellent defense.
It really was. He was beat on the initial cut, recovered nicely to come back and get that basketball.
Frye, 1 dribble pull-up. Knocked around and finally jerked away by James Johnson, coming out of Wake Forest. Debuted against his former team, the Bulls. Had 9 points and 3 blocks, and there's his first 2.
Yeah, he's a big, strong, rugged player. Watched him in the pregame warm-ups.
Oh, my goodness. To Vince Carter for the reverse crush.
How that Steve Nash tossed that ball, maybe a step in front of the half-court line and right on the money. Vince Carter did a sensational dunk and finish on that play there and hit the throttle. I told you he's going to be hyped to play tonight.
Yeah, we wondered if he might have a little bounce in his step back here in Toronto. He likes playing on the big stage. We saw that in New York against the Knicks. And here is Nash going upper deck to Vince Carter.
Yeah, look at that, right at the mid-stripe line, and Vince running the floor nicely on that right wing, gets behind the defense. If you're going to score me in one, and you better get back in transition, because I'm trying to make you pay if you don't.
Those fans here in Toronto booed him after he had that first steal. Hard to boo that. That's still very entertaining. Calderon, defended by Nash. The shot clock is down to 5. Down to 3. Hand in the face from Vince Carter. forcing the miss from Bargnani.
Notice Vince Carter stayed down on that pump fake. That's the theme for shoot-around was telling all these players to stay down on Bargnani's pump fake.
Lopez is pushed from behind by DeRozan and earns a ticket to the line. He's always very active on the offensive end in the first quarter. And a couple free throws coming for Robin Lopez, whose offense has definitely picked up in the last couple of games. 10 of 15 from the field in the last two. Had the 13 points and 13 rebounds against the Mavericks right before the All-Star break. And it was a busy All-Star weekend for that young man, DeMar DeRozan, who's 21 years of age. He has picked up his first foul. Fox Sports Arizona brings you the games that matter most, and it's proud to be the local television home of the Phoenix Suns. And for even more information about the Suns, log on to foxsportsarizona.com. Lopez good to go on the two tosses. 2 minutes in. Baseline shot, spins off for Johnson. Got a couple of Johnsons, James Johnson and Amir Johnson. One of the keys for Alvin Gentry is to keep Amir Johnson off the glass as Channing Frye pumps home the three.
Steve Nash makes it look so easy. I mean, he takes that basketball, flips it behind his back, right on the money to Channing Frye, and he's wide open out there behind the arc.
Early 5-point lead for the Suns. The active hands of Vince Carter, and he knocked it off of DeRozan.
Oh, great defense. Once he got the steal and the deflection when they tried to throw the ball into Johnson from the wing, and this time guarding the man who's dribbling the basketball, quick active hands, a la Jared Dudley likes to do, stripped it down low before the player had a chance to raise it above his shoulder.
Suns starting this 6-game road trip as Carter still hears it from the crowd, having won 5 of their last 7. Lopez going after the offensive rebound, and a loose ball foul will go on Amir Johnson of the Raptors.
Yeah, and both Lopez and Alvin Gentry wanted to try to get a controlled tip foul, which would have meant that Lopez would have an opportunity to go to the line and shoot 2 free throws.
Active offensively, hitting the offensive glass. They inbounded quickly to Nash. Lost the handle, but still plenty of time on the shot clock. Then spins, fades, hangs, and hits. Vince Carter, lively legs in the first quarter.
Hey, that was an impressive move right there in sensational fashion. It was a great move to put the ball on the floor and then the right shoulder turn to free for some open space.
Toronto scored the first 2 points of this game, and now the Suns have exploded for 9 in a row. Nash with a long rebound, pretty pass to Grant Hill, and he'll go to the stripe.
A little thing there. Grant Hill loves running the wings, no doubt about that. That's a big thing. But Steve Nash does a nice job making a bounce pass through the traffic. And what Hill does is he takes the ball into the contact, doesn't shy away from the contact where Johnson would have had a chance to block his shot. But that one there by Vince Carter, I'll tell you what, that's one for the highlight reel. That's a pretty move down low.
They continue to call Nash and Grant Hill the ageless wonders. You can still put Vince Carter in that category as well.
What is VC now? 34 years of age, and you're right. He has had some games where it seemed like, okay, his energy level has been down, but I think hanging out with these guys, Nash and Grant Hill, has re-energized him to the point where he's taking better care of his body. And Coach Jay Triano says, I've seen enough of this, wants a quick timeout.
Vince Carter looks solid here early, the second all-time leading scorer in Toronto Raptors history. A couple of impressive hoops in the first 3 minutes. In the first quarter, and Suns basketball is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Give the gift of a destination with the Southwest gift card. Back here with Scott Williams. And Scott, it's tough to put up at least 20 points and 15 assists in a game, but Steve Nash has done it multiple times this season in the NBA. And you take a look at the list of players who have actually accomplished it. Nash 8 times, the rest of the league combined 4. Jose Calderon, their starting point guard, has done it twice.
Yeah, he's lapped the field, I guess, in that situation. But yeah, Steve Nash is probably one of the best pure passers the game has ever seen.
Calderon, the starter for the Raptors, had 17 assists in the victory over the Chicago Bulls on Wednesday. It was a 118-113 win over Chicago, who actually beat the Heat last night. Here comes a striding at Grant Hill again. Was cut off. And resets now to Nash. Frye wants another 3. This one from the right angle goes over the top of the backboard and out of bounds. It was a very impressive 5-point win over the Bulls for this Raptors team. Maybe the most satisfying win of the season. Only their 4th this year against a winning team. for Jay Triano and the Raptors. DeRozan had 24 in the victory, and I mentioned Calderon, the 17 assists.
Yeah, and Bargnani, he was fantastic in that game as well. He had 24, and the guy's not known for his defense. If he rolls down the middle of Main Street and gets himself a slam dunk, gets the Raptors crowd going a little bit, but he was phenomenal in that game as well. He got some good defensive stops, key stops down the stretch of that game.
Suns missed their first 3 shots, then went 3 of 4 to take the large lead. Channing Frye trying to muscle in on Bargnani. I mentioned the similarities between the two players. Many times they settled the last few seasons for 3-pointers, but both of them mixing in the 2-point variety as well.
Yeah, I think Channing Frye's done a good job of that. I think he's been inspired by Gortat being a bit more physical down low on that block. His post move you saw there, taking the ball to the defense, picking up that foul. And Bargnani, he's really been working with Eric Hughes, the assistant coach, at being more aggressive, utilizing the pump fake and having more of a mid-range game as well as driving the ball to the hole.
And another loose ball foul on Toronto. They are now over the limit already with still 7:50 to go here in the first quarter. 5 team fouls compiled by the Raptors, and the Suns will go to the line. Channing Frye with 2 shots. Boy, that is striking.
Well, that's just what you want when you're on the road. And I think that started that mentality when that first play of the game, when they went down low to Lopez. It sets a tone of how you're going to play. And if you go out there and get an early advantage from the free throw line against this Raptor team, like I say, this is going to be a tough place to play at times. It makes a huge advantage in how the rest of the game flows for your team.
In the penalty situation, rest of the way, and you can't blame one player because all 5 Toronto starters have a personal foul. Goodness.
That's actually a good thing that they all have 1 foul. Now you can go after. They don't want to get another quick second foul. So maybe everybody on the defense will be vulnerable to drives.
All right, aggressive mentality for the Suns. Taking it to the basket would be critical here in the first quarter.
Well, you see a nice big man move by Bargnani on that left shoulder turn there to the right-handed hook. That was featherly soft as it hung on the rim before falling in.
Yeah, he really has sizzled in the month of February, averaging 26 points per game as Lopez goes to the left-handed hook.
Wow, all the big men that got moved yesterday in the NBA. We're seeing a nice display of big man basketball here. Both Frye, Lopez, and Bargnani doing a nice job as Lopez came over and got a piece of that ball on the help side defense. Look at Lopez once again here. Right side contact, bangs that body into him, gets him that separation. And I don't know that he needed it over Johnson anyway. So he's put that thing in that left paw and hooked it over the top.
Robin Lopez very physical right now in the paint with Amir Johnson and Bargnani. You mentioned that help side defense as Calderon tries to unload the 3 and boarded by Vince Carter.
Oh, he snatched that quickly.
Calderon's scoring is down, but he's 5th in the NBA in assists. Can be a quality scorer at times. Channing Frye, absolutely for 3. That's his 2nd here in the opening period.
They may not have an answer for Channing Frye, how to defense that. You don't see a guy at 7 feet tall out there behind the arc that often, although they think with Bargnani they'd be used to it, but he's knocking down shots that were wide open.
We talk about Channing playing the best basketball of his career, 3 straight games scoring at least 20 points. And before the shot, Grant Hill is fouled, but still with Toronto over the limit. That means more free throws for the Suns, who are already 5 of 6 from the line.
Yeah, Amir Johnson got that one. And he just, because Grant Hill just used his legs in transition, you see him walk all the way back to the midcourt, trying to take a little time before he shoots these free throws because he was using so much energy hustling down that left side of the floor. He wants to make sure he's got his breathing right before he shoots his first free throw.
This guy, you can't discount the impact that a Grant Hill and a Steve Nash and even Vince Carter will have on a team as they help steady the ship through all the numerous obstacles and challenges. And now another trade, sending Goran Dragic to Houston, bringing in Aaron Brooks as we see Leandro Barbosa now checking in for Toronto.
Yeah, Barbosa, he's looking to come out here and fly all over the court in that beat roadrunner fashion that he had in Phoenix. He'll be a hard target to keep track of on the offensive end. But yeah, you mentioned that, but I think the leadership of a Hill, of a Nash, is going to make a seamless transition for Brooks, even though we're less than 30 games of playing the league.
Bargnani went for the reverse hammer dunk and was fouled in the act.
That was impressive. A big guy taking the ball from one side of the floor, underneath the rim, across, and then got a defender you blow by, and another 7-footer coming over to help out, and you try to finish with some power at the rim. Nice foul by Lopez. Nothing easy down there. And I think that's that mentality that Gortat has brought to this team.
Obviously excited to see Aaron Brooks in a Suns uniform. And he will start playing for the Suns on Sunday against the Indiana Pacers, game 2 of this road trip. And we're looking forward also to having Aaron Brooks join us on the broadcast to begin the second quarter via the phone from Phoenix, where today he took his physical and obviously passed. So he'll be wearing number 0 for the Suns.
I'm looking forward to that too. You guys surprised me with that. I'm excited. I've never had much of an opportunity to spin around that AB, so I'm looking forward to firing a few questions off to him. I'm sure he's watching this game right now, trying to get used to Suns style and tempo and how they like to play. I'm sure it fits right into his game.
Grant Hill trying to post up the fadeaway on Leandro Barbosa. LB held his ground in a very difficult shot put in by Grant.
Yeah, he's been lifting some weights up here north of the border. He uses a muscle. He pushed Grant Hill all the way out beyond the three-point line before he crashed to the floor.
Now trying to take the charge, but they're going to call a block on Grant Hill as he stepped in front of Bargnani, who is still down on the floor. It looked like he may have injured his back, but he pops up and he does grab that back right now.
Bargnani's been aggressive, taking the ball to the basket, but look at Grant Hill once again. There's Leandro Barbosa, hits him with that big chest. He must be on that bench press, working out the muscles. And look at Bargnani once again here. I think Grant just doesn't get quite the position he would like. Bargnani does a nice job veering to the right of Grant Hill's body, and if you don't take that contact square in the chest, there will be a foul on the defense.
Leandro Barbosa, you talk about him maybe hitting some of the weights. He's had some time off the court because he's missed 18 games due to a variety of injuries, including a shoulder injury, a hamstring injury. But he is back and healthy right now for the Raptors for this stretch run. But they come in 16 and 42. It's a rebuilding phase for this team, a youth movement. They have 10 players who are 25 or younger. LB is actually the 3rd oldest player on this team at 28.
Yeah, 3rd youngest team in the NBA, and they get a steal defensively and run out.
And fouled from behind is James Johnson. He was grabbed around the waist by Lopez. Back defensively was Nash. And so it should go on the side, I believe, for Toronto. That's the Suns' 4th team foul, but the 2nd now on Robin Lopez. And in comes Marcin Gortat.
Yeah. And Coach Trianu was really upset that they did not give that basketball up sooner. Would have had an opportunity for obviously the easy lay-in. Instead, right? You're talking about it, side out of bounds, no damage done. A good foul by the Suns.
And a good reach in again from Vince Carter. That's a 3rd time defensively. He has helped force a turnover by the Raptors. Grant Hill now defended, spinning away from Calderon. Pull up along the baseline, in and out. There's Leandro Barbosa with the carom. Now picked up by Hill. They go low post. Bargnani, boy, he has added some muscle to his game.
And did you see the use of the pump fake right there? As much as you tell a player, don't go for his pump fakes, he's got such a good one. I talk about one of the best young pump fakers in the NBA. He sold Channing Frye on that pump fake, and then he was clear to go back up as Frye was coming down.
5th-year player out of Italy, had the label of being soft early in his career. Vince Carter drills the 3-pointer.
Vince Carter is on fire, 7 points. He's got the 3-point shot. He's got 3 boards, a couple steals now, and a couple deflections. There's another guy on fire. He's the first player to reach double figures with 10 points, 4 or 5 shooting for Bargnani.
Averaging 22 points this season. Bargnani had a career high earlier this year against the Knicks of 41 points. Nash went for the lob again for Vince Carter. Caught part of the rim, loose on the floor, and finally scooped up by Bargnani. 4 minutes to go here in the first. Suns doubling up on the Raptors.
Carter hustling back out of the corner, picking that ball off.
Run out again to Grant Hill. The pass was deflected. Suns will still have it. Leading 24-12, shooting 44% from the field, and limiting Toronto to just 42% so far.
And doing a pretty good job of keeping the Raptors off the line. They shot 4 free throws, but they shot 34 free throws on Wednesday night versus the Bull, and they made 32 of them. So if you can keep them off the line, it's tough for them to try to score in their half-court sets.
Nash breaks free, blocked by Ed Davis, the rookie from North Carolina.
Wow, skinny Ed Davis only goes about 220 pounds, but got off the floor there and swatted that shot away.
Was the 13th overall pick in the first round, coming from the Tar Heels. Of course, he was the star in the title game for North Carolina a couple years ago. Channing Frye wants his 3rd 3, and down it goes. Channing Frye still blazing hot across the border. He's been burning up in America and still sizzling now here in Canada.
I'm just smiling from ear to ear. This guy is really on a tear. He has been absolute unstoppable force.
already in double figures with 10 points. Barbosa lets it fly, and Nash jerks it away. Dudley will check in for the Suns for the next break. Inside of 3 minutes to go. Nash blowing by Calderon, setting up Marcin Gortat. Wow. Steve Nash has picked up yet another assist. That's already 7 for MV Steve.
We forgot to mention he needed 4 assists coming into this basketball game to reach the 9,000 plateau for his career. So he's already done that here in the first quarter. We still got 2 minutes and 48 seconds left.
Yeah, heck, he had his 4 assists to reach 9,000 in the first 30 seconds. And Vince Carter, he and Channing Frye have been forces against the Raptors. With 3 threes, Vince Carter has 3 steals, and combined they have 17 points.
They're doing a phenomenal job, and I love Vince Carter. I just think, you know, he was going to have a nice game tonight. He's back at home where he started his NBA career and knocking down shots from all over the floor, but doing it on the defensive end as well with the steals, the deflections, help side defense, doing a nice job. And Channing Frye, we'll talk about him, man. 3 of 4 from 3-point range, 10 points.
What are the chances we can get the fans in Indianapolis to boo Vince Carter? And then in New Jersey and Boston and Milwaukee and Oklahoma City.
Well, we could just
flourishes.
Yeah, maybe Jersey might not be too hard. We can have him tweet some stuff in Indiana about maybe the Pacers faithful, and that'll get him going.
Yeah, you're right. Barbosa, straight and strong.
Well, the Air Canada sent him for nothing, I guess. Leandro Barbosa maybe firing one up there against his old team that he wish he would have had back.
Jared Bayless on the floor, and look at Vince Carter elevates and detonates.
Kaboom! I like that one right there. He had the 2-hand reverse, and this one, but he hung in the air just a little bit. He said, "Hey, DeRozan, before you were up here dunking in slam dunk contest, I'll put my elbow in the basket."
What a sweet move from Vince Carter, and then the drive-in by Bargnani, who has a dozen. Well, if it weren't for Andrea Bargnani, the Suns would be leading 31-2.
What does the big man say? Dwight Howard down in Orlando say, "I'm doing all I can. I got to get some help." Well, Bargnani might be screaming the same thing.
Vince goes to the left hand. A little secret sauce. Putting on a show back here in Toronto.
Well, he came with the power of the trip before, and this one here, he floated like a butterfly all the way from the right side. The left side used the rim to protect his ball and flipped it up and put a little English on as it rolled over.
Bargnani in and out. He is 5 of 7 shooting. The rest of the team, 1 for 10. Oh, a solid screen set by Channing Frye as he drilled Jared Bayless, who is down at midcourt.
That was like Wildcat on Wildcat, wasn't it?
And 2 former St. Mary's Knights. No love for the former Wildcats and Knights. He was blindsided, was Jared Bayless, by Channing Frye.
Boy, I'll tell you, right. Look at this right here. Steve Nash calling out the plays. Bayless does not see Frye at all, and he is just absolutely floored to the ground. You know, I liked it. I used to like those guards to set up a middle point guard coming like that. You know, they steal the ball from the guards and the big guys down low sometimes. It's nice to go get a little payback on those guards out there at midcourt.
And remember, they mixed it up as well in the playoffs last season when the Suns met the Portland Trailblazers in the first round. They both assessed technical fouls.
Wildcat on Wildcat crime, huh?
Channing must have broken Jared's scoring record, or the other way around in Tucson. There's something going on there.
I don't think that program is in Carolina. We'd never do that. You know, the Carolina faithful fraternity is tighter than that. The Wildcats fraternity must not be that strong.
Another turnover committed by the Raptors. Suns in command. Nash created pass to Gortat, stripped by Barbosa. Suns will have it with 13 on the shot clock.
Good hands that time, because Marcin Gortat was getting ready to bring the Polish hammer and thunder that thing through the basket. So nice job ripping that thing away before he had a chance to get it up over his head and throw it down.
And now Vince Carter has picked up 4 steals in the first quarter to go with those 11 points and 4 rebounds. He has done everything for the Suns, along with Channing Frye, who has 10. Shot clock inside of 5 for Nash. And this swing loose of Ed Davis. Shoots over Davis. Gortat right there to tip it home.
Yeah, nobody put a body on Gortat. They let it walk from the free throw line right to the front of the rim and tip that basketball in. That's a shame defensively. You got to put a body on that big man. Don't they know that he had 13 and 12 in his last basketball game?
Very disappointing first quarter for the Raptors. Barbosa couldn't drive in. And now out of the pack comes Nash, and the Suns will try to take the final shot of the first quarter. Less than a second separating the clocks. Suns 28 and 27, trying to move 2 games over 500.
How about Nash? No points. You would think that the Suns would be getting killed, yet they're up 21 in the game.
Nash fires away looking for his first points. A couple seconds left for Sonny Weems. Lets it fly, and we are done with one here from the Air Canada Center. All Phoenix Suns led by Vince Carter. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals. Channing Frye has knocked in 3 threes already. Looking forward to speaking with the newest Sun, Aaron Brooks, via the telephone from Phoenix when we come back here from the Air Canada Center.
Phoenix Suns basketball, presented by Casino Arizona, is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
A decisive first quarter for the Suns, leading the Raptors by 21. As we head to the second quarter, Tom Leander, Scott Williams, and now joined on the phone by the newest Sun, Aaron Brooks, at a hotel in Phoenix. Took the physical, and apparently, Aaron, you just worked out as well. How excited are you to be a member of the Phoenix Suns?
I'm extremely excited, man. I mean, it's a good team, great team. Has a lot of depth, so I'm just looking forward to getting out there and playing.
Well, yeah, I knew you were already out there on the practice court working out. That's obviously a good sign. You're happy to be in Phoenix. I mean, you talked to me a little bit before we went on air here. How difficult has it been, though? Were you shocked, or did you know something was coming? I mean, you got a family, you got 3-month-old twins. You got to figure out what you're going to do to get them out to the desert.
Yeah, I wasn't, surprised that, that I got traded. I think I was surprised I got traded to Phoenix because, I never heard anything about it. But, it's a great situation. The city is great. Every time we come here, have a good time. So I'm just looking forward to playing with these guys. I mean, it's a good team, like I said before, a lot of veterans, a lot of young guys. So it's a good opportunity.
One of your biggest fans is Suns head coach Alvin Gentry. Every time the Suns would get set to take on the Houston Rockets, he'd always talk about you being an X factor or the wild card. And he told me before the game tonight that you guys spoke on the phone. What did you guys talk about?
Well, he just told me to bring my game. Our system and the way I play fits each other, and just to come out there and play hard and it kind of helped the second team when I come in. And, when you got Steve Nash there, you want to learn as much as you can, but you also want to, do what you do when you get out there. And just adding some of his game to mine, I think that helps.
For some of the Suns fans that are listening, watching the game, tell them exactly what your game is and what your skill set is and what you do bring to the floor.
Just quickness, a guy that can space the floor, like to get up and down. Hopefully it brings some exciting and some stability at the back of the point guard. And, I just want to, I don't know. I consider this my game. And, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it works all out. I don't know. It's my game.
You know what we might enjoy if you could suit up right now? Our second unit is struggling to begin the second quarter. Xavier Dowdell is running the point now in the absence of Goran Dragic, who is headed to Houston, again joined by Aaron Brooks. But this is exactly the type of moment that the Suns are looking forward to having you on the floor to help energize and add that offense to this second unit, because there have been times where there are droughts with the 5 players on the floor who come in for the starters.
I just want to come out and do, what I can to help. Like I said, it's a good backup team, and, maybe it just need a little bit of direction, but, I'm here to help and, do whatever I can do. I can't speak on nothing else. I'm just going to go out there and play my game.
Sure, I'm sure they're all looking forward to playing with you as well, as Michael Petrus takes aim and drills the three-pointer. The Suns needed that boost here in the second quarter. Talk about this season. It's been a struggle for you in Houston, Aaron. Obviously, you won Most Improved Player last year, averaging almost 20 points per game. You led the NBA in three-point hits, but you've had the ankle injury. What else kind of led to the struggles this season with the Rockets?
Well, I think that's probably been the most important thing, having this ankle injury. It's just been hard getting back into it. I mean, I was out for 5 weeks. It's probably the most I've been out for my career and most significant injury I had. So just now starting to get back into it. This is a breath of fresh air. I had a little bit of trouble there as far as management was, but like I said, it's a good direction for me. I'm excited, and I'm ready to play basketball and have fun again.
Well, I know you were also best on the big stage a couple years ago. You were an excellent playoff performance against the Los Angeles Lakers, and I know you'd like to be a big part of the Suns' push toward the playoffs. How do you look at the West and the Suns in the standings right now?
Well, I moved up a couple Ks. So,
yes, you did.
One thing about the Suns is they're a good team. Like I was saying, they struggled a little bit this year, but it's a good time to get hot and be ready to play. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity, like I was saying before, and let's try to get into that playoffs. And once you get in there, anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice drive that time by Xavier Dowdell, taking that ball to the left with the left hand and getting it up off glass and goaltending as the Suns are increased their lead back up to 20 points and doing a better job here defensively. That's one thing I think the second unit does do, is play some good defense. We talked a lot about your ability to slash and score, but you're also pretty good on the defensive side of the basketball as well. Do you take pride on the defensive end?
Well, I try to use my quickness to my advantage on offense and defense. Get up and down, try to pick it up full court and get teams a little bit off their rhythm. But, I think one thing it was good to have a big guy down there finally that could block some shots. So, that's not a shot at my friend Chuck Hayes on the Rockets, but, having Gortat, back there or Lopez, a big guy that can really, block some shots would be nice.
Well, that means you can get out and pressure. You can get out and pressure that basketball and not be afraid if you do get beat. You can funnel them to these big guys and then protect. If you say protecting that basket.
Yes, correct.
Well, I got to ask you, Aaron, your debut will come Sunday. It's a day/morning game for the Suns. Back in Phoenix, our pregame show will hit at 9:30. But how do you like playing in day games? Hopefully you enjoy those.
I never really thought about it. I don't remember my last day game. We haven't had too many, day games in Houston as of late. We haven't had too many televised games either because we haven't been playing too well and absent of that guy Yao. So, this will be a different experience for me. But day, night, morning, whatever. Basketball is basketball. There's something out there. Everybody has to deal with the same.
Well, Mikal Petras having a nice job off the bench, 2 for 2 from the floor. He got the couple free throws. He's doing a really good job with 7 points. And Coach Jay Triano needs another timeout and takes it.
Well, our thanks going out to you, Aaron, for joining us here tonight. We look forward to seeing you in Indianapolis tomorrow and then donning the number 0 jersey for the Suns on Sunday.
Thanks, AB.
Thanks.
Jared Bayless led the early second quarter charge for Toronto. They scored the first 6 points, but now the Suns on a 9-2 move as their lead has ballooned at 24. The Kia card is brought to you by Kia Motors, proud partner of the Phoenix Suns. We take a closer look at the man who just joined us on the phone, Aaron Brooks, the newest Sun, won the Most Improved Player award last year with the Rockets and leading the NBA in three-point hits, was an All-American with the Ducks at Oregon. And look, Scott, what he did against the Suns in 4 games last year. Averaged 24, 7.5 assists, and shot 44% from far away.
Yeah, I think the front office said, hey, if we can't stop this guy, maybe we should need to have him on our team. And also, he has a score. I talked a little bit on the defensive side, but he'll get out and pressure that basketball, but he's going to score. He led the Pac-10 in scoring his senior year, and I think that's his mentality. You don't want a guy to change. That's why Alvin Gentry said, hey, come over here and play your game. So he's going to come out here and try to score. Oh, there's a guy that knows how to finish at the rim right there. Double D. DeMar DeRozan up top.
Back-to-back dunk contestant, DeMar DeRozan, was upset at the use of props this past year. He was actually runner-up in the dunk contest a season ago as Petras trying to continue to line it up here in the second quarter. An offensive rebound for Hakeem Ward.
I'm sorry, Tommy. That's something that Ward's been doing really good. Getting those long boards, as well as going there and hitting the glass hard. But those long boards, he's very quick and active at running those missed shots down.
Shot clock inside of 10. Petras trying to create. Goes hard off the glass. There's Warwick. Another offensive rebound. Pump fake and mauled by James Johnson. is a very strong young man, James Johnson, a kickboxing champ, a black belt, and a physical foul on Akeem Warwick.
Yeah, he thought Akeem Warwick must have been a board he broke in Taekwondo or something. He smacked him so hard, he called him Clubber Lane. But, you know, that's what I was talking about Warwick. He chased down the long board, and then he goes back inside amongst the trees and gets one right underneath the basket. So he's been very active. And I think that Vince Carter and Lopez and Steve Nash and Hill have all set the tone for the way the Suns want to play tonight.
Suns now 9 of 11 from the line after that first miss by Akeem Warwick. Text Bacardi Fan to 68099 for your chance at winning the Bacardi Gold Legendary Fan Experience. One winner and 3 guests will receive a VIP experience at the Suns game on March 25th against the Hornets. Visit Suns.com for more information. Hack splits the 2 free throws. The lead is 23. Bayless very aggressive early in the period, now giving up to DeRozan. He has been the offensive factor in the month of February, along with Bargnani, but he lost it on the dribble, and stepping out of bounds was Petrus.
Oh, and his pull right on top of that, working that sideline. And I think that that's one that Mikael Petrus would like to have back. But, you know, actually Coach Alvin Gentry probably not that upset about that, because it was Petrus the one that stripped that ball on the defensive end. So he said, okay, well, if you get it to me on defense, I won't be upset if you mess up on the offensive end.
Here comes DeRozan. Fouls in to Gortat. Tipping was Amir Johnson. Another board for Hakeem Warwick.
Warwick got that ball. There was 2 other Suns that were down there battling underneath, and did a nice job keeping it from a Raptors player.
Dowdell creating for Petrus. Going deep for 3. Long rebound. Dudley chasing. Out of bounds, and they're going to give it to Phoenix. Thanks to the hustle of Jared Dudley.
Thank you. I'm glad you pointed that out, because those are the type of things that don't show up in the stat sheet. It's a hustle play. And this is a skill like any other skill in basketball, like shooting, dribbling, rebounding. Hustle's a skill, and that ball right there will not show up in the stat sheet, but it helped the Suns get the basketball back until Dowdell just dribbled it off his calf.
Being pressured by Jared Bayless, who is an excellent defensive player, brings all sorts of tenacity to the floor. Jared Bayless, who already has been traded 3 times in his NBA career. He was traded twice early in the season, from Portland to New Orleans, and then the Hornets shipping him here to Toronto. Baseline jump shot. It's good for DeMar DeRozan. I talked about how well he's been playing in February, averaging 19 points per game. Back comes Mikael Petrus, streaking in for 2.
Yeah, you can obviously see the Raptors have a tough time in transition basketball. Grant Hill's been able to streak down that left side 2 or 3 times, and now Mikael Petrus once on the right side where he stepped out of bounds, but here again on the left, getting all the way to the rack.
9 points for Petrus. Suns bench doing all the scoring here in the second period. And now checking out will be Xavier Dowdell along with Jared Dudley, being replaced by Carter and Nash.
Nice job by those guys off the bench. Suns doing a really good job with a lot of the hustle things. Rebounds, kind of a hustle stat. They're up 21 to 11 in rebounds. Steals are up 5 to 1 in steals. They're blocking more shots. And doing a nice job bringing energy. This is the way you want to start a road trip. You've got a 6-game road trip. You've got to come out and bring some energy at the beginning of the trip. Remember the last time they were on the East Coast, started out 3-0, and then they fell off. They got to keep this all the way through the entire 10-day stretch.
Inside hoop for Amir Johnson. The Suns have also done well after trades. This is the second big move engineered by Lon Babby and Lance Blanks. The first, of course, with Orlando, and the Suns won the ensuing game on the road against Oklahoma City.
Yeah, short-handed Oklahoma City. Now Steve Nash pops in the lane for his first basket of the game. Maestro, I tell you, beautiful mind. Professor Nash doing his magic up here north of the border.
Played for Raptors head coach Jay Triano on the national team, did Steve Nash, who had the 7 assists in the first quarter. Bayless gives it up to DeRozan. Locked up by Petrus, tries to dip in. What a shot from DeMar DeRozan.
Hold on, he didn't travel on that? I'm calling travel. Alvin Gentry wants travel. I thought I saw steps as well. I guess there's no props, but he doesn't mind traveling when he has an opportunity to get to the basket for a lay-in.
That was very good defense from Petrus. Thought he had him in handcuffs. Nash, creative feed again to Marcin Gortat for the jam.
I'll tell you, beautiful execution of the bounce pass. I mean, Steve Nash has 8 assists. He's got 5 boards. And we talked about that bucket he had a minute ago. Now he may be going for a triple-double tonight before the party later tonight.
Might need to do a little bit of scoring, though. Reversal from James Johnson. He didn't play much with the Chicago Bulls, only 23 games this past season. They actually sent him down to the D-League, but Toronto acquiring him from Chicago for a first-round pick that they actually received from Miami in the sign and trade with Chris Bosh. Channing Frye had to dial up his 4th three of the first half.
Yeah, you see Nash try to get that ball between Johnson and Bargnani. I mean, I talked about going the boards. That might have been a bit of a stretch there, but that's that competitive nature of Steve Nash.
Traveling violation on Bargnani. Doesn't like the call one bit. But it's the 7th turnover committed now by the Raptors. And we'll get a timeout with 4:23 to go until halftime. Suns lead is 21. Steve Nash has already picked up 8 assists. Marcin Gortat. How do you like playing with MV Steve?
Well, you can't have Polish peanut butter without a little jam. That time Marcin Gortat has been scorching. I thought that was the most spectacular.
Suns in control here in the second quarter of 53-32. Tonight's text poll question, powered by Verizon, is who had the single best dunk in the slam dunk contest during All-Star Saturday? Was it JaVale McGee, who used 2 different baskets, the double rim jam, Serge Ibaka from the free throw line, DeMar DeRozan of the Raptors, who called his dunk the showstopper, or Blake Griffin with the car in the choir? Text your choice to 88222. Stay tuned for the results throughout the game. Normal messaging rates apply. Here is JaVale McGee with that incredible wingspan. And then it was Serge Ibaka taking off legitimately from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's impressive. We'll get back to those other two as we're back to live action, but those were 2 impressive dunks right there. I thought this was probably the best dunk contest from the beginning of the dunk contest to the end of the dunk contest by all the participants.
I agree. I think DeMar DeRozan is a bit of a sore loser. He didn't like the props because he did this sans props, just using his athleticism. That was impressive.
Yeah, that's video game style. And then this one here, the biggest prop I think we've ever seen in the dunk contest is Blake Griffin goes up over the Kia car and claims a trophy.
Channing Frye just hit a 2-pointer. He has a dozen now for the Suns. Their biggest lead has been 24, now up by 23. Bargnani pull-up, defended by Frye. 2 hands vertical in the air, and he's busted for the foul.
Man, I don't really understand that foul. I don't think he can play any better defense than he just did on that one, but he's going to pick up his 2nd personal foul. He's trying to say, hey, I'm completely vertical. He does a nice job getting back in front of the defender, and it's the offensive player's arm that comes down into Channing Frye rather than Channing Frye creating that contact. Bizarre call.
I had a chance to talk to Marcin Gortat before the game. There were some reports that I had read that he actually dunked himself twice, taking off from the free throw line when he played with the Orlando Magic. He confirmed the report. There are 2 different bets. The first time happened a few years ago. He was bet by Jameer Nelson and Dwight Howard that he could do it. He actually accomplished the goal as Channing Frye hits back iron on the 3-point attempt. And then a year ago, Michael Petras comes up, says he heard about the dunk, and Gortat did it a 2nd time. Marcin Gortat is a phenomenal athlete.
He really is. And I tell you what, someone else is a phenomenal athlete is Grant Hill. At his age, getting back in transition against this young bull, well, actually former bull, but he's still a Brahma as he takes this thing hard to the hole, and Grant just gives up his body. The 2nd time now, G. Hill has tried to take a charge, and this time he's successful.
3rd foul on James Johnson. Suns shooting 50% from the field. Nash from deep, and boarded by James Johnson. Suns were actually debating whether or not to draft James Johnson a couple of years ago. He went 16th overall to the Chicago Bulls. Suns wound up taking Earl Clark with the 15th selection. Good defense from Gortat, better shot from Amir Johnson.
Yeah, they should have took this James Johnson. I liked his game. I always liked Amir Johnson when he was in Detroit. Big wide kid that could run the floor. But this guy Johnson, he's impressive. I've watched him shoot. One thing I think he does maybe a little too much is they think he's probably a better ball handler than he is. But look at this once again. Nash not able to get the left-handed layup, but Gortat once again beating all the defenders to the front of the rim.
Startling to see Steve Nash miss a wide-open left-handed layup. He's missed 6 of his 7 shots, but has the 8 assists and 6 rebounds. DeMar DeRozan now for the Raptors, joining Bargnani in double figures. 10 for DeRozan, 14 for Bargnani.
They've been the story offensively for this Raptors team. They're having a tough time scoring some points here. Just still underneath the 40-point plateau here in the first half.
Nash navigating through traffic, sets up Marcin Gortat. The Polish hammer again.
Steve Nash, he's got 9 assists, and Gortat is just absolutely feasting on those assists. He's 5 of 7 from the field, double figures already now. Excuse me, 5 for 5, double figures already with 10 points.
Todd has not missed in his 5 attempts. Double figures off the bench. Defensively forcing a feed from Amir Johnson and then tips it over to Channing Frye.
Yeah, 3 Suns on that glass. Bargnani had no chance.
Vince still hearing it from the crowd. Nash deep for 3. Boarded by Jose Calderon. Nash went airborne, kicked his leg out at Calderon, throwing life and limb in front of him, and it's Bargnani with the hit. Andrea Bargnani now, 7 of 9 shooting from the field, 16 points.
2 years ago, you'd never see Bargnani run to the front of the rim and post somebody up. He shied away from contact. He's really going down there begging now. Vince Carter not able to get that long-range wing jumper to go, and Raptors the only team on the glass that grab that one there. So they reached the 40-point plateau. Got a minute to play.
Toronto trying to make a run here late in the first half. There's DeRozan again. The lead is down to 17. They have chiseled 7 points off the Suns' lead. Actually, the Suns led by as many, that's right, as 24. Here comes Nash. Hits the brakes, looking for Grant Hill. Loose ball. Calderon tips it up ahead to DeRozan. Toronto making their move here late in the second quarter, but a blocking foul as the charge was taken by Channing Frye.
Oh, close by Frye. Could have been his 3rd foul. Does a nice job stepping up, getting that charging call. As a Jay Triano just got teed up. One of these Raptor players or coaches got teed up.
I believe the tee is assessed to DeMar DeRozan. Suns will have a free throw when we come. Raptors outscoring the Suns 28-24 so far here in the second quarter after managing only 14 in the opening period. That was a low first quarter for a Suns opponent this season. As we find out what's on tap for the Suns, sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting, and grab some buds. For a limited time, when you purchase 2011-2012 Suns season tickets, you'll not only receive up to $200 in food and merchandise credits on the Phoenix Suns, but you'll enjoy the best prices and seats. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Visit suns.com/legacy, or you can call 602-594-2217 for more information. Suns trying to make their charge toward the playoffs. During the final 27 games, Nash will shoot the technical free throw after the tee was assessed to DeRozan.
Yeah, if you're trying to make a push to the playoffs, and this is the way to do it. To win the hustle game, they've done a fantastic job. I mean, they've got 1 strip, they got 5 steals already in this game. They've got on the offensive glass for 7 offensive rebounds, and the transition game has been fantastic. 15 fast break points, and you're still in the first half. Wow.
15 seconds on the shot clock. Game clock inside of 20. Nash taking his time, milking the clock, using the screen from Gortat. The switch defended by Davis. Grant Hill for 3, wide right and deep. Boarded by Bargnani. Still enough time for Calderon. Looks up at the clock. Whips it over to Weems, partially blocked by Vince Carter, who was the star of the first quarter. And the Suns will take an 18-point lead into the locker room.
Great job. I talked about the hustle game, defense right there. That was pretty much sums it up. Vince Carter closing out on a defender, blocking a shot. They got transitions, buckets. Just a great job by the Suns to set the tone for the Eastern trip.
Second straight 60-point first half for the Phoenix Suns. They were outscored 28-25 in the second by the Raptors. We've come to the end of the first half with the score 60-42. Stay tuned. The Toyota Halftime Report with Kevin Ray and Tom Chambers. Nash back in Canada. He has 9 assists. Channing Frye leading the way for Phoenix with 12. Vince Carter in double figures with 11. You're watching Phoenix Suns basketball presented by Casino Arizona.
By Casino Arizona and brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, offering health plans with choice, flexibility, and service. For information, visit azblue.com/score.
With director Dan Siekman, producer Bob Adlock, Eddie Dean, our highlight machine. Welcome back to Toronto. Suns' biggest lead was 24 in the first half, currently up 18. Tom Leander along with Scott Williams want to take a moment to congratulate Suns assistant coach Igor Kokoshkov and his wife Trish. Igor not on the trip with us right now because of the birth of their first child, their first son, Luca.
How good is that?
Congratulations.
Hey,
yeah. And congrats to the Suns for a strong start in this game. Channing Frye and Vince Carter setting the tone in that first quarter. Vince back here in his old home.
It was really a great effort by the Suns in that first half. You get 3 players in double-figure scoring and another with 9. Steve Nash is doing it all, setting the table. He's got 9 assists in this game, but it was really the hustle thing. 7 offensive rebounds. They defended really well in transition. They only allowed 3 points in transition for the Raptors. When you go out there and you get 15 yourself, that's really winning the hustle game.
Now offensively try to slow down Andrea Bargnani and DeMar DeRozan as we go inside the box score with Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. Bargnani goes 7 of 9 for his 16 points. Vince Carter has 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 steals, all coming in the first period.
Yeah, did a really nice job. He's very active. We talked about him liking to go against his former team, the Raptors. And the other thing they did really well is deflections, loose balls, block shots. Did a really nice job on the defensive end and getting out and defending that 3-point line. I know the Raptors did not get a three-pointer made in that first half, but they were only able to get off 4 as well. So did a nice job running them off of that 3-point line as well.
Start of a 6-game road trip for the Suns. Bargnani defended by Fry, and left-handed shot by James Johnson rolls off, and here Johnson digs in for the 2. This is a Raptors team that will be heading to London for 2 games with the New Jersey Nets next week. It will be the first regular season NBA games to be played in Europe. The Suns think they're on a road trip right now. This Raptors team flying over the big ocean. It's out of 10 on the shot clock for Nash. In a switch defended by Bargnani. He shoots over the 7-footer. And now Steve Nash, 1 of 9 shooting.
Yeah, it's about the only thing he hasn't done well tonight is knock down some shots. He's had a couple where he's had to kind of beat the shot clock as Bargnani puts the ball on the floor and gets a foul going to the basket. He'll shoot a couple of free throws. But other than that, I mean, he's been fantastic at distributing the basketball tonight. We talked about the 9 assists he had in the first half. Well, the Suns had 14 assists. You get between 26 and 30 assists in a basketball game. You're generally at 50 rebounds. You're generally going to win that basketball game. The Suns are well on their way, halfway point with 14 assists and 24 rebounds.
That was the 3rd foul picked up by Robin Lopez. Ball knocked out of bounds. 10 on the shot clock. Nash 1 of 9. Did you see Chris Bosh last night? The Miami Heat taking on the Chicago Bulls. And he goes 1 of 18.
Never
1 of 18 for Bosh. DeRozan.
Now, one thing the Suns have to worry about, you remember they enjoyed a large lead on Wednesday against the Golden State Warriors. They were up by 18 points. Excuse me, it's Atlanta on Wednesday night. They were up 18 points, and they kind of took their foot off the throat of those Hawks and allowed them to come back and tie that game. The Suns had to have that 8-0 finish as Grant Hill charges in there and gets whistled for the foul. You can't allow this Raptors team to do that. I think Alvin Gentry, coaching staff, talked to them at halftime about not letting this team get back into the game. Here comes Grant Hill charging hard to the basket. And look at that. Calderon steps right in there, taking a page from Mr. Hill's book and drawing that charge.
14-point game. Toronto has shaved 10 points off the Suns' lead that was once 24. It's 8-1 move by Toronto. Ball fake by Bargnani, goes in for the stuff. Blew right past Channing Frye.
Yeah, can't have that. They come out here taking the ball hard to the hole, come out and get a 6-0 run. And Suns very little offensively right there or defensively. Lost their focus in the locker room.
18 points now for Andrea Bargnani. Taking it home for 2. A 10-1 move by Toronto to pull to within a dozen. All right, Scotty, 10-1 Toronto going back to the end of the 2nd quarter. Just to clarify, Suns 6-man, your Phoenix Suns are waiting for you. This team needs your passion and your commitment. If you haven't renewed yet, there's still time to reserve your seat location at the best prices. Renew at my6thman.com, or you can call 602-514-5444. Those are some great photos. Kurt Rambis, Al McCoy.
Look at the one at TC right there in the middle there, jumping over. Was that Mark Jackson slamming that one down? I like that one of Rambis with those glasses, those Clark Kent glasses.
Yep. Al McCoy back in Phoenix. Jeff Munn is taking over the radio duties here on this long road trip. Channing Frye with the offensive rebound and powers in for 2.
Yeah, big man basketball. That's exactly what Channing Frye's been doing. I mean, obviously he knocked down a couple threes, which is not typical big man basketball, but he did go on that block and get himself a bucket down low, and that one right there off the offensive glass.
14 now for Frye. There's James Johnson coming over in that deal. Found out about it on Tuesday and made his debut as a starter against his former team, the Bulls, and comes up with a steal. You talked about how athletic this young man is. He's also a turnover machine, very prone to turnovers when he played for Chicago, but he has an excellent handle for a player his size. A lot of spin moves in the lane. Amir Johnson, the soft touch.
You know, it's funny, I'm looking at the stat sheet here in the rebound department. You've got Carter and Nash. They got 11 combined rebounds. And my bigs, Frye and Lopez, who've been normally do a great job on the glass with just 4 rebounds. But yet the Suns are still out-rebounding the Raptors 26 to 19.
Lopez took it in on Amir Johnson. Many people stunned at the big contract that he signed over this past summer. Nobody's stunned at the performance anymore of Andrea Bargnani, the former #1 overall pick. Raptors passing on the likes of LaMarcus Aldridge, but their patience with Bargnani is certainly paying off. 12-point game. Nash scoops it over to Robin Lopez. Steve Nash in double figures in assists. He has the 10 to go with the 6 rebounds. Make that 11 assists now for Nash.
Yeah, that was a great one right there. I mean, all Lopez had to do was basically catch that ball. He could have knocked it in from anywhere on the floor. It was spoon-fed. Then there's Channing Frye and Vince Carter getting together down there, swarming to the basketball, playing some good defense. Leads to a nice little run out the post up here for Vince Carter.
Vince drawing the foul, bucket and 1 for Vince Carter. And a technical on Jay Triano. He had to be careful. He might get tossed. Not happy at all. And now having to be restrained by one of his assistant coaches, P.J. Carlesimo.
Well, look at this Vince Carter does. He takes the slider of DeRozan down the block, and see how he kind of leans in with that arm. He swings it up underneath DeRozan, so he gets all this contact now from DeRozan's midsection all the way up through his arms. He's able to hook that thing in, and it just looks now like DeRozan's riding up underneath Carter, when in fact Carter's the one that initiates a contact. Savvy move by the vet.
The technical was called by official Josh Tiven, and he showed some patience with Triano. This is P.J. Carlesimo, one of his assistants, former head coach in the NBA. Another assistant for Triano is Alex English, a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame. There is Alex English, inducted in 1997.
I loved Alex English's game. Silky smooth, jumpers, mid-range game extraordinaire.
He had it all. 70 to 52 after the technical, and then the free throw from Vince Carter. The Suns 13 of 15 from the line. Toronto 6 of 9. 4 minutes into this third quarter. Barbosa has come in now for the Raptors. James Johnson, the reach-in foul, committed by Vince Carter. That is new life for James Johnson. Now playing for the Raptors, a young team, part of their youth movement and rebuilding, and they are going to give him the second half of the season to prove himself.
Yeah, I didn't know much about James Johnson coming into this basketball game. I think I said in the first half, so I'm impressed. He's got nice ability to put the ball on the floor.
Alvin Gentry's wardrobe, courtesy of the Clothery at the Biltmore Fashion Park. Talked about the college comparison with the Phoenix Suns, looking at the final 28 games after the All-Star break, much like an NCAA college team, and trying to earn a bid into the tournament. The Suns 1-0 so far in their tournament bid run, winning that getaway game against the Atlanta Hawks. A game they led by 18. It was tied at 92 in the fourth. But then Channing Frye and Nash and Grant Hill doing a superb job on an 8-0 run. Frye posting up Calderon. He's been working on this move. Jump hook along the baseline, just rolled off. Covers up on Bargnani. Front defense from Vince Carter denying the pass into James Johnson, and a hand check and a foul on Robin Lopez, and then swatted away from Amir Johnson.
Yes, that's a tough cover for Robin Lopez when Johnson's got his dribble still available, and he catches the ball right in the middle of the floor in front of the basket. Ability to knock that shot down, which Johnson does have, and now puts a lot of pressure on Lopez to close out, and then he uses his speed to go by Robin. But you got to do your work early there, not allowing that step-in cut to the middle of the floor. And that's one of the things the young fellow still, as a big, is still trying to learn and do it on a consistent basis.
Fourth foul committed by Robin Lopez, and that will bring Marcin Gortat to the scorer's table. And he'll come in for Robin. DeMar DeRozan has 4 for the Raptors. Suns lead is 16. So what did you think of that trading frenzy at the trade deadline? Just mind-boggling. All the different deals that went down, obviously starting with Carmelo and Darren Williams. And then we see Kendrick Perkins going to Oklahoma City. Jeff Green of the Thunder now with Boston. Battier is back in Memphis.
Yeah, I think the biggest shocker was the Boston Celtics had a nice little thing going there, and with the big 3 in Perkins and Rondo, and to kind of break that one up and take a chance, Steve Nash knocks down a J. It was kind of a little bit of a shocker to me why they would pull the trigger on that deal, but I do love Green. I just was a little shocked that a team that has been as successful as they've been with the core players that they have would make a change to their core group.
Barbosa blocked by Grant Hill. Stellar defensive play again from Grant. He knows the moves of LB, the former teammates. Let's go back to Vince. Finds Channing Frye for 3, missed everything. And Toronto will have it with 6:25 to go.
Yeah, you see Channing Frye take a look at his right hand afterwards, like, oh yeah, not that bad shooter. Must have a little grease or a little extra perspiration or something on my fingers. Allowed that one fly a little further than I wanted to.
Shades of Sean Marion.
Yeah, shooters never miss shots. Must be something wrong with the hand or the ball, maybe the rim.
Calderon has not hit a shot from the field yet. He has 7 assists for the Raptors. Comes in averaging 9 per game. Halfway through this third quarter. Nash out to Frye. Almost went up and down. Top of the key. Lets it fly and hits it. Nearly turned it over and then cans the 2.
Yeah, a bit bizarre. He kept that left foot down as he went to elevate for that shot. And Bargnani got a taste of his own medicine. Great pump fake, as it turns out, by Frye. Frees himself to space with the one dribble pull-up.
And the 5th steal for Vince Carter. The big paw coming down with that pick. Channing Frye is now 4 points away from his 4th consecutive 20-point game. That would be a career high. He had 3 in a row as a rookie with the Knicks. Nash with a little body block on Calderon. The shot clock is down to 2. Nash couldn't hit rim, and Toronto will take over. Like the box out, though, from Steve Nash. A little technique, running interference on Calderon, so the Suns could at least try to get a shot off. The shot clock expiring.
Yeah, and he went over and grabbed Gortat. I think there was a miscommunication on that screen roll situation that allowed that deflection to knock the ball into the backcourt. So they wanted to tighten that up. And another deflection here by Grant Hill. Channing Frye gets a pick off. Look at Hill run that right wing.
Oh, met at the top, heavy contact. He goes down hard behind the basket, along with Leandro Barbosa.
Yeah, 2 old
now Grant Hill turning to the eye. Are you going to help me up, pal?
Yeah, 2 old friends smiling about it down there, playing hard, not wanting to give an inch. But look at this deflection here by Hill. He gets that deflection and sprinting that right wing again. Steve Nash has been able to find him several times in transition. I think at first Barbosa's trying to hold him up, and then they both trip over a camera guy and end up down there on the floor.
I love the competitive fire between the former teammates. LB still beloved by all of his former Suns teammates, though there aren't many left from last year's Western Conference Championship team. Only 5 players now that made it to the finals. That's right.
A complete makeover there, but the Suns, how about the job they have done at getting themselves to the line? They are now 15 of 17 from the free throw line in this basketball game.
12-3 move for the Suns. Their lead is up to 21. Suns 48% from the field. 15 of 17 from the line. They have hit 5 3-pointers. As a blocking foul out on the perimeter against Marcin Gortat. That drew the ire of Alvin Gentry. That's the 4th team foul on Phoenix. Still plenty of time to go here in the 3rd. Toronto currently sitting with 2 team fouls. Calderon said before the game how much he admires the game of Steve Nash. Kills the dribble, gives it up to Johnson. His pass deflected again by Grant Hill, who may have injured his right shoulder. The shot clock blows up on Barbosa and the Raptors. And Grant Hill trying to work out that right shoulder as he took a hit going for the steal.
Yeah, he's really wincing, working that thing around. But look at this once again. Sometimes when you get your arm up like that, and you're pulling one direction as another player is pushing down. I used to have a lot of problems with my shoulders, a little subluxation. He may have got a little tweak in the capsule right there and felt that twinge immediately as he grabbed that shoulder.
Fry curls off the screen. Bounce feed to Marcin Gortat for the lay-in. Marcin has hit all 6 of his shots. Jay Triano needs another timeout. Gortat now with a dozen.
Yeah.
And this time it wasn't Nash setting him up, it was Channing Frye.
Big man coming together, the 4 to the 5. I love it. That's the way you pass the ball down low in the interior.
In the third quarter to lead by 23 as we check tonight's Suns.com promo calendar. Stop by Wright Toyota on Frank Lloyd Wright and the Greenway Hayden Loop tomorrow between noon and 1:30 p.m. for a chance to win a brand new Prius or brand new Tacoma. Suites are still available for the return of Jason Richardson in our only Sunday matinee of the year. That's March 13th when the Orlando Magic come to town. First 3 suites booked will get 2 lower-level concert tickets for any upcoming U.S. Airways Center concert event. I know you want that one because you want to go see Lady Gaga.
I do want to see Lady Gaga.
And donate your new or gently used books at Valley Cold Stone Creamery locations now through March 10th. Get on free Like It creation with a 2-book donation. For more great Suns offers, visit suns.com/promotions. All right, Scott, let's update our poll question. Fans weighing in on which was their favorite signature dunk of All-Star Weekend. Look at Serge Ibaka. Tight. This might be the tightest vote of the season.
Wow, just a percentage above Blake Griffin's Kia dunk and Kia card dunk, I should say, and DeMar DeRozan right there at a close third. Very close.
Not a whole lot of support for JaVale McGee and that 2-hoop jam.
Yeah, that was corny.
That was corny. Bargnani sticks it. Holy cow, the wingspan to be able to do that. And then later he dunked 3 basketballs at one time. You're hard to impress, Scott Williams. Especially for a guy who wasn't known for dunking.
No,
that's not all of that.
Yeah, a guy named Tank was not known as a flyer, but look at another stop here by the Raptors. And Bayless.
Oh, and he's blocked by Grant Hill.
Snuffed out at the hoop.
Again, Grant did that against Bayless in the playoffs last year. Gortat, before the shot, a hold and a foul. Grant Hill, sensational defense.
Look at this once again. You know, Nash gets in front, he gets the initial slowdown. He actually gets a piece of the ball and slows Bayless down just enough for his buddy to come over and swat it away.
Well, that's a great point. Maybe a half block for Grant and a half a block for Steve Nash, who doesn't register many swats. Out comes Grant Hill as he was replaced by Jared Dudley.
Just shows that everybody working hard. Jared Dudley, you know, Wednesday night's game, he gets his 3rd dunk of the season. Akeem Wark, he knocks down a 3-point shot. So kind of a weird Wednesday of action. And look at this one off the glass. Gortat is able to control that basketball and guide it into the basket. Not the way they draw it up, but he'll take the points.
You won't see that very often. The pass deflected off his hand, off the backboard, and he tipped it home. Barbosa muscles in on Gortat, looking for a call.
See, now if that would have been a jam at the end of it, that would have been better than JaVale McGee's dunk, the 2-basket dunk.
He's trying to set up Vince Carter. Skip pass. Jared Dudley for 3, in and out. Rebounded by Bargnani. If there's one thing Toronto would like more of from Andre Bargnani, it's in the rebounding department.
Yeah, rebounding defense is about the only thing that he needs to finish that complete game because, boy, I'll tell you, offensively, this kid is an absolute stud.
24 points on 11 of 13 shooting for Bargnani. Near perfect from the field. Gave it up. Nobody was near him defensively. And Vince Carter pounds in a 3.
Pretty basketball movement that time by the Suns. And that was a beautiful thing to watch. Sharing of the basketball. Great teamwork as they worked that thing from one side of the floor to the other.
You're right. Marcin Gortat really didn't have a defender within 5 feet of him. But the Suns with their excellent ball movement, unselfish play, building lead back up to 24. James Johnson talked about his turnover difficulties in Chicago. Coughed it up there. inside of 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Next up on this road trip, the Sunday morning show against the Indiana Pacers. Suns game time. Early start, 9:30. Vince Carter straight, a little short.
Well, that was a little deep. He thought that one from the CNN Tower, or CNN Tower, I should say.
LB runs over a good friend and former teammate Steve Nash. Took the hit, sacrificing the body.
Now, you know, Leandro Barbosa has a tendency to like to take the ball from the right side of the floor to the left side. Steve Nash played with him long enough to realize that, steps right in that driving lane and absorbs the contact.
LB taking on all comers tonight. Whether it's Grant Hill or Steve Nash, playing a very physical brand of basketball against his former team. Physical defender Jared Bayless trying to track Nash. Gortat gave it up to Vince. There's that ball movement again. They find a wide open Dudley. Free for three, missed everything. Gortat grabs the offensive rebound, fouled on the way up.
Gortat on the glass tonight. I've been itching. This guy really is a very strong physical player. And 14 points now and make that 6 boards he's grabbed down there. I think he's probably got 2 or 3 at least on the all glass. And just down there, just outside, works himself to the inside of the basket. Just out working these Raptor players.
DeMar DeRozan has picked up his 5th personal foul. And it's going to force him to the Raptors bench as Marcin readies for his free throws. Gortat, another one of his double-doubles in the last game against the Atlanta Hawks. 13 points, 12 rebounds. That has given him 9 on the season since the first one. 9 double-doubles off the bench. That's the most by a Phoenix Suns player since AC Green 17 years ago when he had 10 for the Suns. 17 years ago. Yeah, I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that Marcin has done that or that it's been 17 years since AC Green played for the Suns. Doesn't seem that long ago.
Yeah, time does fly indeed. And I wonder if that ranks for him as for all NBA players this year as for players with double figures in points and rebounds off the bench. That's an impressive number.
Well, he is actually one ahead of Lamar Odom in that department.
You know that? Boy, you are good. Why you wait so much for preparation? I love it.
We've been tracking that one for a while, though. But because it is so impressive that he's done that, coming over here to the Suns after seeing barely the light of day as a member of the Magic and a traveling violation called on Jared Dudley. But you talk about Marcin and all the practice hours against Dwight Howard, kind of toiling in his shadows. Boy, has it paid off. And what a tremendous move for the Suns. I mentioned that they just made their second big move under Lon Babby and Lance Blanks, but that was the first, bringing in Marcin Gortat as the big man here in Phoenix to supplement Robin Lopez.
You know, it's not always a bad thing to play behind a good player, though. I mean, talk about that being a negative thing. I mean, wasn't it Jason Kidd that had to sit the bench behind Kevin Johnson for a while and learn how to play? Steve Nash is another example of that. Yeah. So sometimes you get back opportunity to get back and learn the game and see how you can fit your talents in to be successful as what somebody else is doing.
Sign up for My Suns Mobile, powered by Verizon. Get text messages with breaking Suns news, special offers, and promotions. Visit suns.com for more information. Jared Bayless knocking down the first free throw. Still just 22 years of age. Competitor, maniacal work ethic. And happy for the opportunity here in Toronto. He thought he was going to be side by side in New Orleans with Chris Paul, but that lasted only about a month after being traded by the Blazers. 85-61.
Bayless might have to switch his cologne or deodorant or something. He seems like he doesn't last very long wherever he's at. Got to be something going on because it's not his playability. He's absolutely phenomenal on the court as he gets whistled for a foul there. But I love this young man's game. I think he's going to have an extremely bright, talented NBA career.
Well, you can see how relentless he is on defense. Right up in the jersey of Steve Nash. He was disappointed in the call, but Steve Nash couldn't believe that he didn't agree with it. So much physical contact. Nash, a rare miss at the free throw line. That shot just hasn't been there tonight for Steve. He's doing everything else. 2 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. As Channing Frye comes out with his 16 points. And Vince Carter also will receive a breather here late in the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the points. Nash is going to get enough points for at least a double-double as he's got the 11 assists. I want to see him go down there and get 3 more boards in this game so he can get the triple-double as he's sitting on 7 boards right now. That would be great. Come back to Canada where you're from and get yourself a triple-double.
And you know his shooting will pick up. He is number 1 among all guards in the NBA, shooting 52% from the field. Final 10 seconds. Nash goes down, along with Ed Davis. Nash in a switch was trying to cover Ed Davis, and both fell over backwards. The foul will be tagged to Nash, who picks up his second.
Yeah, Ed Davis gets up slow. Ed had that knee injury earlier in his career, and in this one right here, he kind of falls over backwards on Nash. You can see, I don't know if Nash landed on his leg or whatever, but he got up real slow from the floor.
Suns led by 21 points after the first quarter. They led 35-14. The lead was 18 at halftime, and still in control here, final seconds of the third quarter. Ed Davis taken 13th overall. That sophomore season had the wrist injury, ended early, goes 1 of 2 from the line. Nash trying to make something happen. Final seconds into the front court. I don't think that would have counted. You headed to the fourth and final quarter, game number 1 on the Suns' longest road trip of the season, and they lead it by 24 as they outscored the Raptors 26-20 in that third quarter.
Yeah, they came out of the locker room a little sluggish, but refound their stride and did a nice job finishing out the quarter.
3 different Suns scoring in double figures, led by the former Raptor, Vince Carter, who has 17.
Walker used to...
86-62, Suns in command as we get set for the start of the fourth quarter. The drive is brought to you by Checker O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Vince Carter, this guy's been in overdrive from the opening tip.
Yeah, that was my favorite move of the game right there, as well as he put DeRozan in the spin cycle and went around him like a rent-a-cop.
So much talk around the league, the trading frenzy before the deadline. And today's big news is the walkout staged by a number of Pistons that did not go to the shoot-around, boycotting the shoot-around. And their head coach, John Kuester, I should say, as Petrus misfires. But it was a walkout staged by Rip Hamilton, Tracy McGrady, Wilcox was a part of that, Chris Wilcox, Tayshaun Prince, and I'm told only 6 players are in action tonight for the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah,
obviously, many players not happy with Kuester.
Yeah, I was told by Alvin Gentry before the game that Kuester was released. He was fired in that Darrell Walker, the assistant coach, has replaced Kuester on the bench as head coach.
That team's certainly in disarray. Rip Hamilton had been put on the pine for a number of weeks. Many people thought he would be traded along with Tayshaun Prince before the deadline. Joe Dumars certainly has his hands full with the Pistons right now. Meantime, the Suns have looked great from the start of this game. Jumped on Toronto early, led by Fry and Vince Carter. Xavier Dowdell, backup point guard until Aaron Brooks shows up on Sunday against the Indiana Pacers. Dowdell's done a very solid job, especially when Goran Dragic was out with that toe injury. And Xavier, his patience paid off as well because he had an offer to go play in Europe for almost $750,000 this upcoming season. He decided to keep that NBA dream alive. When you talk about all the trades that took place, Scott, very interesting that Many of them involve point guards around the league. Baron Davis going from the Clippers to Cleveland. We'll see Darren Williams on this road trip with New Jersey. Chauncey Billups now in New York. Bibby has made his way to Washington. Heinrich, when that deal goes to Atlanta. And Mo Williams now the point guard with the LA Clippers.
Yeah, there were a lot of point guards absolutely on the move. I feel a little bit bad for Baron Davis having to leave his hometown and go play with the Cavs. Are obviously rebuilding, having lost 26 early. But look at that move by Leandro Barbosa. Used to seeing that drive around the left wing in a Suns uniform. That time he's a little bit back to his old teammates, but also a little big man, a lot of big man got moved as well. We mentioned Perkins earlier, to beat Chris Pitts, Joe Presvilla, Nazir Muhammad. So a number of big guys as well got shipped around.
That was the first field goal of the night for Barbosa in his first regular season game against his former team, the Suns, and another traveling call on Jared Dudley.
Yeah, second time tonight on that right wing. He's obviously getting a little giddy up before he's putting that ball down on the floor. Alvin Gentry is, acting like he was mock dribbling the basketball, like put the ball down on the floor first, JD.
Ed Davis rolls inside. Yeah, he's known more as a rebounder and a defender.
But that was a nice, strong move right there. You got to remember, Ed's left-handed when he comes rolling down that line.
I mentioned it's Leandro Barbosa's first regular season game against his former team. These two teams actually met twice in the preseason as Dowdell goes in and draws the contact. And both games dominated by the Toronto Raptors. Yes, it was preseason. They won one of those contests by 51, the other by 21. So combined 2 victories by Toronto in the preseason over the Suns by a combined 72 points.
Who was coaching that team? Thunder Dan Marley?
Oh, you wouldn't paste that on Dan.
I'm not asking. I'm not pasting it on him. I was just wondering who was coaching that team. I know Alvin Gentry doesn't want to take credit for those beatdowns.
And you won't see it on his coaching record. That's the nice thing. Dowdell sinks the first.
Yep, Thunder Down's up here, made the trip. His fiance made the trip up here with him and joined the Toronto. Actually, we didn't have that bad of weather. I thought we were going to get pounded by some snow, light snow today, nothing that stuck, and hopefully it won't be too bad tomorrow. We can get out of here and get to Indiana without any delays.
Yeah, that's a big question. Dano's fiance ready to stick it out for the entire road trip. All 10 days. Indy, New Jersey, Boston, then Milwaukee, and finally in Oklahoma City. Barbosa, very frustrated. Apparent with this Raptors team on this possession. Tipping at the cup is Ed Davis. Second tip in front. There he is, tending the glass.
Well, Sun's still in the comfort zone right now, but wow, nice pass by Dowdell to a cutting Petrus. Gets underneath the defense and gets a bucket. But you want to be careful. The second group has been playing pretty good basketball. You don't want to come out here and play some poor basketball, especially on the defensive end, and really just kind of lose a lot of the momentum that you've built up in this basketball game, because this is a long trip. You want to have that confidence in your own abilities, but you also want the coaching staff to have confidence as well. But look at this one, again, a bullet pass right underneath the basket there, and Petrus showing some good hands. He's going to lay that in off the glass in a reverse fashion.
Yeah, superb playmaking skills from Xavier Dowdell, and Michael Petrus helped save the day in that second quarter when Toronto started to creep closer early in the period, but Petrus had 9 of his 12 points in the second quarter.
Yeah, he did. That was came right after a little 6-0 run to start the quarter by the Raptors. Petrus did a nice job, knocked down a couple of 3-point shots.
1 of 2 at the line for Sonny Weem. This is a young player, one of 10 players on the team that's 25 years of age or younger. And he's been traded 3 times before winding up here in Toronto. Dowdell over to Hakeem Ward. Couldn't get over the front of the iron. Neither could Gortat on the first attempt or the second. 3 attempts, both come off the front of the iron.
Yeah, point blank. They're both a little shocked that they Warwick wasn't able to get that jam. He dunked it right onto the front of the rim, and then Gortat normally knocks those things down.
And here's the good news for Marcin Gortat. After grabbing that offensive rebound, he now has his 10th double-double. 2-point hit for the end zone.
Well, who'd you say that ties him with in the league?
He's ahead of Lamar Odom.
Well, passes Lamar with that 10th double-double. Nice job. I mean, Lamar Odom, obviously a fantastic player. It just goes to show you the job Gortat has done in the Suns uniform.
Dowdell, they dare him to shoot, and he sinks it. Confident jump shot from Xavier Dowdell.
Yeah, I was talking about Dowdell before the basketball game with color analyst over there for the Toronto Raptors and said that he will shoot if he's left open. He feels as though it's my opportunity to make the defense honor me on the offensive end.
Xavier has hit both of his shots from the field, both of his free throws. He has 6 points and 3 assists for the Suns. 8:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. Suns trying to move 2 games over 500 for the 3rd time this season. And 5 blocks so far in this game, and this one never really has been in doubt. They've been in control since the beginning. Defensive play is brought to you by Right Guard. Never get caught off guard. We'll take a look at the veterans. Steve Nash and Grant Hill. Can they share a block on this one?
Well, no, not officially, but I'll tell you what, unofficially, it certainly looked pretty good right there. Working hard defensively, getting back in transition. They have absolutely won that battle in transition buckets. Raptors with just 9 fast break points. The Suns 23 fast break points thus far in the game.
Well, I mentioned the Suns with 8 steals as a team. 6 of those have come from Vince Carter. You talk about playing with passion on the defensive end. And he brought it from the opening tip. Had that phenomenal alley-oop feed and dunk from Steve Nash. Had the reverse jam. And then defensively, just the active hands. 6 steals, 7 rebounds. And hopefully for Alvin Gentry, those 3 can be spectators the rest of the way. That would be the goal.
Yeah, that would be good. Obviously, a long trip. I'd love to see Nash go back in there and get a shot for a triple-double. But this game's pretty much well in hand. We're up 21 points. It's nice for these guys here off the bench now to work on their games against another team, a little live contact.
Oh, how about that? Xavier Dowdell up top to Hakeem Warwick.
Yeah, Dowdell, he's shown ability to be able to pass that ball. We saw the zip pass underneath the Petrus. And this one he goes up top to the 10th floor, registered his 4th assist. Good job off the pine for ZD.
Hack climbing up over the back of the Raptors defender. That was a sensational play, and Dudley comes up with another Sun steal. That's number 9. Petrus on the attack. Now Hack will back it out. Make a move in on Davis. Blocked from the side, but a foul on the rookie of Davis.
I like that one. You know, Hack wanted to take that initial bounce pass and go in there and dunk it. He kind of started moving before he got the ball. He had to chase it back towards the corner. And then he doesn't settle for a jump shot. He goes back and tries to attack the basket like he did on this particular play here as Dowdell from out beyond the arc lofts that one up over the top of the defense, and Mr. Ward finishes it.
Ward went right over the top of a leaper, DeMar DeRozan, who was caught off guard. A lot of credit to Z for that pass. And Hakeem Ward, 10 points against Atlanta. Double figure scoring in off the bench. One of 4 Suns reserves who hit double figures in that win.
I want to go back to Steve Nash a little bit. We talked about his numbers and had a chance that he's going to get some rest. But how about the job he has done on number 8, Calderon, tonight defensively? And Calderon has not been able to make a field goal or free throw, nothing. Nash has covered him like a blanket. He's got 0 points. He does have the 7 assists, but he has not scored a point in this game. Nash's defense.
Barbosa punches in for the 3rd time. 3 of 9 shooting, 6 points. I really like the defensive intensity and how the Suns' second unit has been denying the passing lanes. Darnell picked up by Bargnani. Shot clock is down to 5. Pitch out. Petrus, corner pocket 3. And it's knocked out of there and saved by Calderon. Here comes Barbosa. Looks up ahead to DeRozan. One dribble, flips it up with the left hand. Couldn't convert. And cleared by Petrus. Michael looking inside for Jared Dudley. Was that him screaming?
That was him screaming, yeah.
I can't believe I heard that. I thought I had to be a fan.
It sounded like a 13-year-old girl or something screaming from the top of the Raptors. But yeah, he was upset that he threw the ball away and let out kind of a girlish scream. But look at this one here. Ed Davis once again to the rack. Slamming it down hard, cuts that Suns lead to 20 points.
It was a difficult start for Ed Davis, too. He missed all of training camp after having torn meniscus surgery on his knee. Slow start for their 1st-round pick. Inside of 6 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Posting up Warren. Spin free and muscles in on Jose Calderon. Nice move from Hack.
I'll tell you what, maybe I got it all wrong, but to me it seems like all the bigs have played much better since the arrival of Gortat, whether it's Channing Frye or Lopez or Hack. They've all got a different mentality.
42 points from the Suns bench. And then Gortat dips the shoulders over the top when Ed Davis, a dangerous play, and Davis whistled for the foul. And it will be Marcin Gortat. Foul by Davis. Suns will have it when we come back. 5:23 to go here in the fourth. Suns by 20 here in the fourth quarter from Toronto. And it's time for tonight's flyby. Sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book a business select fare at southwest.com and fly through airport lines with flyby priority lane access. Vince, he's flying again at the Air Canada Center.
Yeah, there's still a line from T.O. Terrell Owens. Get your popcorn, because he has absolutely put on a show in this basketball game tonight. He's been sensational on both sides of the ball and defensively with those 6 steals we talked about. But that might have been my favorite slam of the night as he put it in reverse fashion, threw it down with Thunderdome.
I'm looking forward to the next 5 games on this road trip as well. A much improved Indiana Pacers team under their new head coach, Frank Vogel, who took over for Jim O'Brien. As he has opened things up in that Pacers offense. They have played much better since that change made by Larry Bird. Gortat misses the first free throw. And then as you look ahead on this road trip, on Monday against the New Jersey Nets, making that big deal with Utah, bringing in Darren Williams. Be in Boston on Wednesday. We'll see Jeff Green in green, along with Nenad Kristic. It's interesting, too, because Jeff Green was originally drafted by the Boston Celtics but traded to Seattle in the Ray Allen deal. 5th overall pick. And then we wind up the road trip in Oklahoma City. Final game where we see Kendrick Perkins and Nate Robinson, who came over in the deal from Boston. Suns fans, did you know if you're signed up for My Suns Mobile, you'll receive a text alert for 2 free tacos at any Phoenix area Jack in the Box when the Suns score 99 on the road or hold their opponent to 99 points or fewer. We'll see both things here tonight.
Yeah, does that mean you get double tacos? Wait, stop it. Let me not start giving away tacos. I want people running and say, Williams said I can have 2. You only get 1. So
Jack in the Box executives
messed
sit
that
on
up
the edge of their chair every time
before.
You tend to wax philosophical. Free tacos. LB picked up his offense here in the second half.
Let's take a look at this one once again. It's that backdoor action. He ran that so effective. I keep going back to all the plays he had with Steve Nash, but they're so worried about Leandro Barbosa coming off of DHO, a dribble handoff or pick and roll situation over the top of the defense. He gets one little move, sells it, and he's back to the basket faster than most people could even recover, and gets an opportunity for a 3-point play on the left.
You're right. He was so good with that corner cut with Steve Nash. They had that telepathy going. The Suns, of course, dealing Leandro here to Toronto in that trade for Hedo Turkoglu. And LB quietly asked the Suns to trade him during the offseason. And it's ironic, too, that he lost minutes to Goran Dragic, who was traded by the Phoenix Suns yesterday.
How about that move there by Keem Ward, Tommy? He does a nice job working himself all the way from the wing down towards where he gets himself a little 6-footer off glass. And there's Bayless. That's my guy. Clay Johnson, Prodigy.
Suns bench going back to Keem Ward, registering 44 points. 3 bench players scoring in double figures. Now Ward with 10, Petrus with 12, 17 for Gortat. Whereas yet another double-double in off the bench. Bayless over to Julian Wright, who was picked up from New Orleans in a trade before the season. Here comes Barbosa, lays it in past Gortat.
He's just so quick. It's hard to measure his speed to the basket. We've seen Gortat a little slow in rotation a few times now to cut off that baseline. Has not been able to do it.
LB padding his stats here in the fourth quarter. He has 10 points. He's cut the lead to 17. Now could use a hoop right here. Fade away, Hack, tough shot. And then Petrus grabs the ball and the steal, goes up and is fouled. 2 free throws coming from a very alert Michael Petrus.
Yeah, good job off the bench. They've gotten a little sloppy with the basketball, turned it over a couple times by Gortat, some wild passes. But this one here is a good move by Ward. First he had that move where he went down on the baseline, and once you get a guy thinking that way, you kind of sell him something different the second time. He had a nice little turnaround Jay that you said the Suns needed a bucket. And then Mikael Pietrus just being aggressive on the defensive end, playing 90 feet of basketball, and gets that steal. Now an opportunity to go to the line.
Mikael knocks down the first, and tonight's game is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Pietrus set the tone for this game, along with Ward at the shoot-around this morning. Sometimes it goes back that far. Just a little thing about, hey, we're going to boo Vince Carter every time he catches the ball in the morning shoot-around. It really set a good tone for the shoot-around. Guys were lively, they were active, the camaraderie was strong, and you need that when you're on the road for a long time.
Especially after the trade of a very popular player like Goran Dragic. Ed Davis comes up with a pair. Aaron Brooks will make his debut for the Suns on Sunday against the Pacers. We told you that Aaron last year against the Suns in 4 meetings averaged 24 points per game. He was going to love this style. We're going to see Josh Childers, who hasn't played in quite a bit. Garrett Seiler will also come in for the Suns. When we come back, 2:54 to go to finish off this one from the Air Canada Center. Suns here in the fourth quarter. Steve Nash with 11 assists back here in Canada. And time for tonight's Laser Pass, sponsored by Schwartz Laser Eye Center's TeamEyeDoc.com. See the best that you can see, and once again, filleting the defense.
I love that one right there. And Steve Nash now 9,007 career assists. And next up, we talked about it, is Isaiah Thomas, and he's trying to chase down.
7th all-time on the career assist list. Just recently passed the glove, Gary Payton. And next up is idol, Isaiah Thomas. He wore the number 11 in college at Santa Clara in honor of Isaiah. And Steve Nash and the Suns hang on here. He will go to 13-0 against the Raptors since re-signing with Phoenix in the summer of 2004. Barbosa for 3. Down it goes for LB.
Yeah, I'm absolutely happy to see Leandro Barbosa to play well. I was glad the Suns are going to get the win, but I liked out Leandro Barbosa. I mean, I had him his rookie year coming into the NBA. It's nice to see him have the success that he has had, and wish him the best up here north of the border in Toronto. But how about Steve Nash? 54 assists he needs to pass his idol, Isaiah. 54 back.
Well, that three-pointer by Leandro Barbosa was the first for the Raptors tonight. They came in as the worst three-point shooting team in the NBA. And Nash and the Suns will stay over here tonight in Toronto before flying out to Indianapolis tomorrow. Garrett Seiler misfires on the first.
Yeah, I heard you got an invitation tonight.
Well, I went to LB, and I'm told there's a little gathering following this game. LB and Steve Nash combining their efforts, and a little get-together.
They put you on the list?
Big one. No, we weren't on the list, but I went up to LB before the game and said, hey, great to see you. I hear there's a big party. So you coming, man? I said, no.
We're going to get to the door, and the guy's going to say, your name's please, and we're not going to be on the list. We're going to be out there in the cold.
Will be on there. Come on. Come on now. You got a lot of NBA rings. You carry quite a bit of cachet. That's why we hang out with you on the road.
I cash out about the cash. Yeah, I just carry the cash. I slip the guy 20. Hopefully, hopefully we can get by the bouncer.
Well said. Jared Bayless pull up 18-footer too strong. Garrett Seiler punches it out of bounds, and the Raptors will have it. A little discrepancy now between the two officials. This Raptors team, only 16 wins, only 4 victories against teams that are over 500, and one of those 4 wins came against the Dallas Mavericks, who are without Dirk Nowitzki, and that's their next game as they host Dallas on Sunday, this time with a healthy Dirk. Alexis Ajinça comes up short. The 7-footer came over from Dallas, as a matter of fact, and was originally drafted by the Charlotte Bobcats.
That's his second long-range attempt for a 7-footer. You would think go down there and bang on the block, big man, but I guess he's got a little of that Channing Frye as Xavier Dowdell with another direct connect.
Shooting over another 7-footer on the court, Solomon Alabi, a 22-year-old, 50th overall pick by the Dallas Mavericks. He picked up a couple of 7-footers from Dallas over the past year. Minute and a half to go. Bayless kind of squirmed free, lost it. Dowdell. That pass, I believe, was intended for Pietrus. was knocked by Seiler. Now Peters going to work on Barbosa. Pulls back on the fade. And out of the back comes Julian Wright. Knocked away by Dowdell. Now try to milk the clock.
I'm sorry, the Suns.
Maybe not.
Yeah, milk the clock. I don't know milking the clock in a 20-point blowout on the road, but these guys are out here having some fun. But defensively, I mean, I think kind of summed it up all night long.
Technical foul now on Michael Petras.
You can't get a technical foul when you're on the road up 21 points.
It's a no.
Bit bizarre technical to get right there. Save that money, young man, and got a long trip in front of us. Don't want to spend all your per diem on technical fouls, that's for sure. But one of the things I did want to talk about is the Suns' ability tonight to be able to attack on both sides of the basketball court. They were phenomenal offensively in that first quarter, hanging to 35 points on the Raptors. And I think once they got them back on their heels, they never let the pressure off. I'm sure I think they cut it to 14 points at one point in time during that second period. But the bench came back and really, got back on top of this basketball game. Never let the Raptors get on balance. They just were attacking defensively with the blocks and the steals and just did a nice job never letting this sellout crowd get engaged in the game.
Really the important thing for the Suns, too, moving 2 games over 500. That's the highest they've been over 500 all season. It's happened 2 other times. And they will move to 29 and 27. They'll be 2-0 since the All-Star break. And bring in Aaron Brooks on Sunday. The pass by Ward came up way short.
They was trying to get Garrett Seiler a bucket and force something down there that wasn't there. I don't know if that's a bad play. That's just a teammate trying to be a good teammate. They're getting his buddy a basket. And you know how Seiler has been professionally worked hard in practice. They wanted to see him get in the scoring column tonight. But Team Ward saying, hey, I'm sorry, buddy, I couldn't get that one to you. But nice job here by the Suns, like I said, on both sides of the floor. Really impressed with this young man here who stepped in and did a good job in the absence of Goran Dragic, Dowdell.
Down go the Raptors, 110-92 here in Toronto. Suns now 2-0 since the All-Star break. They take the first of 6 on this road trip and now have won 13 straight over the Toronto Raptors. Vince Carter finishes with 17 along with Marcin Gortat, who had 17 points and 11 rebounds. Suns in command from the opening tip. They roll to the win. We're back with our player of the game after this.